This is a product video for General Formulations 3.3 AutoMark DRIFT PW wrapping film, and here are the details. Product number GF333, PW stands for partial wrap, type material gloss white polymeric wrap vinyl, the liner is 105 pound Egress, the thickness is 3.0 mil, adhesive, slidable and repositionable, width 54 inches and 60 inches, roll length 150 feet, and here are the uses: partial wraps, box trucks, and standard signage. The lot number and other valuable information can be found on the outside of the box. 333 AutoMark DRIFT PW can be printed on with UV, solvent, eco-solvent, and latex inks. Outgas when applicable. It is recommended to use 4 over-laminates, GF 247 and 248, and either GF 231, which is gloss, or GF 240, which is matte. The adhesive is a light gray permanent acrylic and has a new matte finish. Matte finish gives 3.3 AutoMark DRIFT PW high slidability. Keep in mind that a single squeegee stroke will not fully adhere the film to the surface. The key is to use multiple overlapping strokes to lock the panel in position or apply heat. The adhesive has an air egress feature which allows bubbles to be pressed away. No poking with an air release tool. Because it is a calendar film and 4.8 mil thick with lamination, avoid overstretching the film as it can whiten the print and lead to premature lifting. Keep in mind that if it whitens, it can be self-healed by triggering the memory effect. During the prep phase of an install, cleaning is very important in order to get long-term durability. First, do a general clean to remove dirt, then wipe down the surface and edges with 70% isopropyl alcohol. Standard tools and techniques apply for the install, and the workspace temperature should be above 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Because of the low initial tack, the entire liner can be released if one corner is secured with several squeegee strokes. Then, create a permanent hinge at a key area on the section being applied, then create glass by pulling with even tension. Use heat and a squeegee stroke to lock the panel in position, then firm overlapping squeegee strokes to form the film onto the surface. For moderate curves, the film can be gently heated and then guided towards the edge. The goal is to keep the film under 5% stretch. It's critical to avoid overstretching. This can happen by applying too much heat and pulling too hard to the edge. If this happens, it can cause the film to get fingers on the edge over time, which will lead to durability issues and unhappy clients. The best way to work the film into steep areas is to make relief cuts, then feed the film into these areas. Apply heat when necessary to relax the film, but not to stretch. Working in stages is critical. Once at the edge, the film should be relaxed again with heat before cutting, and the film slightly wrapped around the edge for extra hold. When possible, it's recommended to cut on the opposite edge in order to get 1/4 inch wraparound of material. For body angles, make relief cuts in order to keep the film from lifting on these areas. Once cut, use heat to soften the film, then form it under the edge. Once the panel has been applied, it's essential to go over the entire panel with heat. This will activate the adhesive as well as check for bubbles. For areas like the side of the car, be sure to use masking tape on raised objects if they cannot be removed. Also, apply cutting tape to any enclosed recessed areas on the high edge. It's a good idea to prep and cut out these areas around the raised objects before releasing the entire liner. Once set, the backing paper can be pulled and cut away. The film can then be formed around the raised object with no stress and secured to the body. Once set, the entire liner can be released. Create glass and lock the panel in place with a permanent hinge. Once set, be sure to feed the film into open-sided recessed areas, as this will help keep the stretch under 5%. For large sections, use the triangle technique to create glass, then simply squeegee. Use firm, overlapping squeegee strokes and pick up the film and feed it in all the way to the bottom. For wheel wells, it's important to cut them cold straight to the edge. For the door handle areas, release the cutting tape on the top ridge for both areas. This helps to avoid overstretching the film. For raised objects like the window molding in this case, Use the tuck and cut method to neutralize any tension. Avoid bridging and jamming the film into these areas. With the install complete, be sure to post-heat the edges right away, as this will heat set the material as well as eliminate the memory factor. Post-heat temperature for 3.3 AutoMark DRIFT PW is 220 degrees Fahrenheit. With the install fully complete, wipe the car down with aftercare products that are safe for wrap film and has up to a 7-year vertical warranty. 3.3 AutoMark DRIFT PW can be applied to vans with deep recessed areas if done in the following manner. The first step is to bridge the film over the entire area and lock the film onto the upper sections. Next, lock the film onto the lower section just until it bridges the recesses. Click the blade so it's extra sharp, then run it along the upper ridge to make a relief cut. This is called the cut and drop technique, which avoids any overstretching on this area. It ensures high durability and, if done correctly, will have a professional appearance that doesn't have to be post-heated or require the use of adhesive promoter. Keep in mind that 3.3 AutoMark DRIFT PW can be used for non-vehicle installations that have moderate curves or ridges, as well as flat sections. The low initial tack makes for a straightforward install. And when the film has to be removed, use either a heat gun or a propane torch to soften the film. Be sure to remove within warranty and it will leave a minimal amount of adhesive residue behind. For more information, you can go to this URL or contact General Formulations at this email or phone number. This has been a product video for General Formulations 3.3 AutoMark DRIFT PW wrapping film, proudly produced by the Wrap Institute.